What's up, everyone? This is r/slash entitled parents. We have some of the most insane and egotistical parents you could possibly imagine. Now, a lot of these stories are more like, full-blown stories than short posts, so they're much longer, but buckle up because you are in for a treat. And if you like this video, definitely hit that subscribe button and like this video as well. I'm a very small YouTuber trying to get established, so I could definitely use your help. So let's get into it. Give my child some of your alcoholic cocktail, you slut. Last year, my boyfriend and I went on a cruise with his family. The cruise ship was on the largest scale and had many different sections and activities, one of which was the adult-only zone located on the side of the ship. The adult-only zone included a bar, outdoor showers, and sun chairs. This particular ship allowed full nudity in the adult zone. During the second day of the cruise, my boyfriend and I decided to go sunbathe in the adult-only zone, as my boyfriend was a bit annoyed of having parents claim numerous sun chairs that their children weren't even using, placing their tote bags, wet towels, and dirty dishes over 3 to 5 chairs. We order some delicious cocktails and find a quiet spot to read our books. About half hour went past when a young boy came up to our chairs, probably 6 to 7 years old, pointed to my fruity cocktail and started to yell. M is me, BF's boyfriend, C is child, and EP is entitled parent. Yummy drink! I want yummy drink now! I'm sorry, sweetheart, but this is an adult's drink. Maybe you can go ask your mom or dad to get you a nice drink from upstairs. No, I want your yummy drink! My boyfriend is starting to get annoyed by this child as he is disturbing our reading time, and we are in the adult-only zone after all, so we shouldn't have to deal with this. My boyfriend snapped. Listen, kid, you can't be here. Where are your parents? Wah, starts screaming. Okay, come with me so I can help you find your parents. I hand my drink to my boyfriend, get up and start heading towards the bar while motioning to the kid to follow me. The little boy, however, decided to jump over my sun chair and attempt to grab my cocktail from my boyfriend's hand. My boyfriend dodged the boy and gets up from his chair, now holding both our drinks. The other guests are now looking over at us and am speaking the bartender, and for him to call the security as there is a child causing havoc. This is when I feel something hitting my butt cheek. I look down to see this boy is using my ass as a punching bag whilst throwing a tantrum. My boyfriend is also watching on in shock and can tell he is starting to get very angry. I lean over the boy. Excuse me, please stop doing that. It is very inappropriate to touch anyone in that area and I don't like it. The boy continues to do this, but now he starts to also tug in my bikini bottom, almost pulling it down. My boyfriend walks over, places our drinks on the bar and grabs the boy's hands, gets down to his level and said, "She told you to stop touching her. You cannot touch people without their permission. Do you understand?" And the kid continues to scream hysterically. The bartender is on the phone asking for security to come over when an elderly couple approach us to remind me that this is a child-free area. Yeah, no kidding. I explain that this is not our child and that he has been harassing us over cocktails. The elderly couple are now also looking around to find this little demon's parents. That's when we spot entitled parent casually walking over towards the bar. Why are you people harassing my child? Excuse you, lady, your child is the one harassing us over alcoholic drinks. This is a child-free zone, by the way. Who cares about child-free zone nonsense? My husband and I sometimes give him a small sip of our cocktails. He just wants a taste. Are you insane? It's alcohol, lady. It's illegal to give a minor alcohol, even if it's a sip. Now EP is stepping much closer to my face and starts screaming, "Don't you fucking dare tell me how to parent. You better step back away from my girlfriend. Your son has been inappropriately touching her and tried to pull her bikini bottom down after being told to stop." The entitled parent looks at my bikini and barks. Well, maybe it's because your girlfriend looks like a slut in her bikini. Not a good example to be wearing that around children. This is when the bartender and elderly couple step in and tell her that I'm allowed to be fully naked in this area if I wanted, and tell her that she is not setting a good example for her kid by allowing him to be in a place that is inappropriate for children. Security come and politely ask entitled parent and her child to leave, causing her to have the mother of all breakdowns. She threatened to sue the cruise ship for discrimination and also told the security officer that she would make sure he loses his job. Well, security guy wasn't very happy about this and said he was going to call his supervisor to come and deal with her for threatening staff members and harassing other passengers. EP quickly realized that she was about to be in big trouble, grabbed her kid's hand, and practically ran out of the adult-only zone. I don't know what ended up happening after that, but we didn't see her or her devil child for the rest of our trip. This woman isn't just an entitled parent, she's an awful parent and just an all-around awful human. Like, I'm trying to even keep track of all the things she did wrong. She left her kid unattended in an adult nudity zone and gives her kid alcohol. Already, that just makes her a terrible human being. Then she comes to an area that allows nudity and calls someone in a bikini a slut. Anyone in a bikini in a nudity zone is actually dressed conservatively by comparison. And finally, she argues with staff on a cruise ship, which, let me tell you, is just downright stupid. On a cruise ship, the captain has basically total authority to do what he wants. A lot of cruise ships actually have jails where they just put troublemakers or people who get sick and just keep them there for the rest of the cruise until they get back to the mainland. So what she did was incredibly stupid. Two of my closest friends have a 2-year-old daughter that I am pretty close to, enough that I could take the girl on a trip without her parents and she wouldn't have any problems. Right now they have a lot of things to deal with and are very stressed out, so I offered to take their daughter with me and my son to a seasonal theme park so they have one less thing to worry about for a few hours. They are the type of people that are first to show up and last to leave whenever someone needs their help. The kind of people that visit you in the hospital and bring books. So I was thrilled to return the favor. A week later, I gave her a Christmas present just because I wanted to, and she was as grateful as you can expect from a toddler. They are also not who this story is about. Enter other friend. I have never been very close to her, and most of the time we have spent together she has tried to take advantage of me and occasionally succeeded, so I tend to avoid her. She also has a 8-month-old daughter that I have only met twice. Unfortunately, the two of us live close enough to occasionally run into each other at the grocery store, and the 4 of us have a mutual friend who seems to believe that if she just keeps pushing, we would all be the best of friends. So she tells other friend everything we do. Last week I ran into other friend at the grocery store. After some awkward small talk, she dove right in. So if you were taking their daughter to the theme park, why didn't you take my daughter? I was baffled and just said, what? My daughter would have liked to go. I don't think she would have been very comfortable going with me since she doesn't even know me. She would have been fine. At that moment, her baby was literally hiding from me because I was pretty much a complete stranger to her. Ah, well, you should bring her next year then. She'll be old enough to go on many other rides by that point. Other friends seemed to get the hint and sniffed dismissively. Well, when is her Christmas gift going to arrive? It's pretty late. Excuse me? You got their daughter a gift. Am I supposed to believe you got nothing for my daughter? I thought I could turn the tables on her, so I asked her what she got for my son. Why would I get anything for your son? I don't even know him. Right. Okay, nice talking with you. Gotta finish my shopping. Bye. People like this honestly confuse me. She's so entitled that she actually doesn't even realize her own hypocrisy. Like, it doesn't even cross her mind that she did something wrong. In one breath, she demands a present for her kid, but then in her next breath, she says, why would I give a present to someone that she barely knows? The hypocrisy is honestly astonishing. So I've been looking for a bit and decided to share my entitled parent story. This is gonna be a long one, but it's a pretty good one. When I was 16, I worked at the amusement park in my city. It wasn't a big one, but it wasn't small either. Most of our rides were aimed towards elementary school age children, though we had a few for the older kids as well. Anyways, I was a rides operator, and that day I was assigned to a ride designed for older kids. We had to measure the kids, and they couldn't go on if they were under the height requirements no matter what, even if they had a parent with them, because it was a ride that only had a bar that went across your stomach, so someone too small could easily fall off. Entitled mother and her entitled brat are in line, and I can already tell the kid is going to be too short to ride without even having to measure him. He's pretty far back, so I know it's going to be 1 or 2 runs before he makes it on. So after I'm done loading, I tell entitled mom that her kid is too short for the ride and that they should go try the smaller version of it on the other side of the park. She looks at me with the dirtiest stare ever and just says, "We're gonna wait here." Now, I have to run my ride because I need to meet certain times, so I don't argue. Times go by and she's finally at the start of the line. I measure her kid and of course he's like 6 inches shorter than the height requirements. "I'm sorry ma'am, but your child is too short to ride this one. I would recommend going over to the smaller version near the entrance of the park though." "No, it's fine. I'm with them. I'll hold him." She tries to shove me out of the way, but I'm standing my ground. "I'm really sorry ma'am, but we don't allow people under the height limit to ride this ride. The safeties we have on it just won't hold someone too small and your kid could fall off." She then asked to speak to my manager. I get asked that quite a lot by entitled parents, so I give them a call and tell her to wait on the side while I load my ride. She gets very offended, saying that she shouldn't have to wait longer for her kid to ride this ride because I couldn't do my job. And at this point, I just kind of ignore her and move on. Ride runs, my team lead gets there and talks with her. He tells her that he's really sorry, but that I'm right, her child can't ride this ride. Now, at this point, entitled brat is throwing a tantrum, and I mean he's rolling on the concrete like a piece of bacon in a frying pan. I'm trying my hardest not to laugh at this point. Anyways, my lead apologizes, offers her a skip the line ticket for the ride he's allowed to go on at the entrance, and leaves. Entitled mom is trying to calm down entitled brat and starts talking to him. He gets up all smiling and happy and stands next to the gates watching me. Now, I'm not thinking too much of this at this point, so I start loading my ride again, which has a significantly less busy line, and I have a couple of empty seats on it. As I'm doing my security checks and getting ready to run it, entitled mom taps me on the shoulder and thanks me for my help, which I found extremely odd. I turned around and tell her that it's really no problem, and she starts apologizing and telling me that she shouldn't have acted the way she did and blah blah blah. I'm completely stunned, not really sure how to react, but I tell her it's no problem and to enjoy the rest of her day. I look back at my ride and realize that entitled brat isn't standing next to the fence anymore. I'm starting to get weird vibes. I look around for him and he's not anywhere to be seen. I look at entitled mom again, who has her phone out with her camera pointing at the ride, and that's when I knew. I take my keys out the ride and start walking towards it. It's kind of a swing type thing, so I couldn't see the back from where I was standing, but I knew damn well that entitled brat had snuck on. Entitled mom starts panicking, asking me what I'm doing and why I'm not running the ride. I completely ignore her and walk to the back of the ride, and lo and behold, entitled brat is sitting there and almost shits himself when he sees me walking towards him. He didn't have the bar properly locked at all and would have flown right out as soon as I started the ride. Now, I am mad, and I mean mad. I could have gone to jail for manslaughter right here and there. I just look at him and very sternly tell him to get off my ride. He tells me he can't and he needs help, which is fair. I don't even know how he managed to get on in the first place, but I grab him and put him down, and he starts sprinting towards his mom crying. As he's running, he trips and falls down on his face. When he gets up, his nose is all bloody and his knees are skinned, which is when I knew I was completely and utterly fucked. Entitled mom starts screaming like a banshee at the sight. As I'm running towards the kid to make sure he's not dead and to help him up, she runs towards me, slaps me hard across the face, and starts yelling for security. I'm absolutely and completely stunned at this point. Some security guards must have heard her screaming at the top of her lungs because they come running, and the exchange goes something like this. What's going on here? This girl assaulted my son. She threw him off the ride into the pavement. Excuse me? Did she really want them to believe I just yeeted her child 10 feet away from where he was sitting? It's true, she punched me too. Do you want us to call the police? Yes, you need to arrest her. She's mentally unstable. I'm just dumbfounded at this point. My lead gets to the ride and asks what the hell is going on, and I tell him everything that happened in between sobs. There's one thing entitled mom forgot to take into account though. There were like 15 people on the ride who saw everything. So they tell the police and security guards and my lead and everyone else what happened, and entitled mom quickly realized her error as she just started running with her kid in tow as soon as she saw people asking the other guests questions. They caught her pretty quickly and I pressed assault charges on her. Needless to say, I handed in my resignation that same day. Oh, this is what I don't understand about these entitled parents. If you think your kid is the golden child and just perfect and everyone should just give him all kinds of extra attention and praise and free stuff, whatever. But if you think your kid is so amazing, why would you load him up into a trap that could actually kill him? That's so incredibly stupid. This woman's kid would have died if it weren't for OP, and it would have been this mother's fault. Alright everyone, that is r/entitled parents. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see daily Reddit videos, please hit that subscribe button and come back for daily content. Also be sure to hit that like button as well. I'm a small YouTuber and it really helps me out a lot. See you guys in the next video.